Hello humans, it's just Martine and welcome to the second full week of Squash That Series. Squash That Series is a readathon hosted by Bailey from Is Bailey Reading and Kayla from Kayla Ray Reads. I'll have their information linked down below. My last Squash That Series vlog will be right here. Things have been heating up in this team round. Things are intense. Yesterday was the challenge day, and tonight, at our points update, we'll see where we stand because of all the coins redeemed from the challenge day. So that's very stressful. I'm also feeling a little under the weather today. I got a bit of a scratchy throat, so it's been kind of a weird day, not as productive as I would like, but now it is the evening time. It is time for me to read and get some points for my team. I did do a little reading earlier. I made progress in Momentous Events in the Life of a Cactus, which is my physical sequel right now for the 75 Hard Reading Challenge that I'm participating in. And then I read half an hour of Whom Dog Hath Joined, which is a golden retriever cozy mystery series that I've been working my way through, especially in this round of Squash That Series. For my 75 Hard Reading Challenge, that is my owned ebook. So that's on that. Let's set some goals for the night. Last night, I barely started, like I'm 36 pages into Peter and the Secret of Rundoon. I read book 2, Peter and the Shadow Thieves, this weekend. So I'd love to finish this book in the next few days. Minimum, I'd like to get to tonight halfway. Is that a stretch? Yes. It's a stretch I want to make because I'm traveling this weekend and I cannot be bringing these heavy physical books in my one backpack that I'm bringing. And I also want to make progress in The Girl Who Kicked the Hornet's Nest. Yep. Those are the two main things I'll be reading tonight. I would love to start on my audiobook, but I just don't think I'll have the time because during most of my audiobook listening time for the day, I let myself listen to music. That ship has sailed. We'll get to it tomorrow, but time to read. Read for a bit, grab dinner, read more. It's 9 p.m., so we just got the points update with everything added in from challenge day. The last time there was a points update, it was like my team was plus 900 points, the other team was minus 2,000, right? Now my team is plus 2,700 and the other team is minus 2,000. It's not gonna stop me from reading. What's actually gonna stop me from reading is that it's my bedtime. Good morning. It's Tuesday morning. I feel worse than I did yesterday. I waited in my bed watching YouTube and feeling sorry for myself until the student health center opened, and then I called and made an appointment. My second at-home COVID test also came back negative. They're going to give me a not at-home test once I get there, and then if that still comes back negative, then I have an appointment with them. I have had bronchitis before, and I'm basically feeling everything in my chest, so I'm like a little worried about that. Just trying to focus on staying well while also having to get a lot done, and also hoping I'm better so I can travel this weekend, and also trying to kick the other team's butt. So the universe is in their favor right now. I think multiple people on my team are quite ill right now, but we'll make it through. Because after the points last night and the plans that we have this week, they should be scared. Good afternoon. It's 1:30. My exam's at 2, so this is the perfect time to fill you in on the 2 books I finished today. I only had 30 minutes left in this one and like 50 minutes left in this one. So first I finished Momentous Events in the Life of a Cactus by Dusty Bowling. The first book of this series is Insignificant Events in the Life of a Cactus, and I gave that 5 stars. It's a middle grade story about a girl with a disability, and then she moves to a new place and becomes friends with all these different types of people. Anyway, this still had a lot of what I loved about the first book. Unfortunately, not everything that I loved about the first book, so I'm only giving this 3.5 stars, which is still an incredible rating. It just didn't catch me like the first book did, probably in part because I already knew what to expect from these characters. It wasn't a surprise in that way, how strong all the characters were or how much I loved them. So this one follows the same main character as that book, but now she's starting high school. This is only worth plus 50 points for my team, but that's fine because it's worth minus 150 because I finished a series, it's a sequel to a 5 stars, and it's an owned sequel. So that's on that. And then I finished Peter and the Secrets of Rundoon. In my last vlog, I was saying how I really couldn't remember if I had read the second in this series or not, so I read it for this just in case. Like, the first half was familiar, the second half wasn't. None of this was familiar, which supported my hypothesis that I thought deeply, deeply down inside I'd never read this book. I think my sister might have tried to read it at one point, but I did not. This one's a little shorter than the first, so it clocked in at 482 pages, which is still a chunker, but unfortunately only affords me 100 points for my team, but then I also got minus 75 points because it's been on my TBR for over a year. I started this series in 4th grade, and then it was another installment from this round because I read Peter and the Shadow Thieves. Yeah, this I gave the same rating as Peter and the Shadow Thieves, 3.5. It was like a good time. I continue to enjoy how Ridley Pearson and Dave Barry tie in different aspects of the original Peter Pan story. So like in this one, this is not a spoiler, but like we figure out Peter's last name, and we also get some other interesting origins. So that's good. Also, interestingly enough, this was supposed to be the end of a trilogy for this. They really wrapped up a lot of things for all the characters, including like all the Lost Boys, but there was like an outcry from readers. So there is a 4th book, and I'll be reading this next. And this, I believe, will get me 200 points. Yeah. For the rest of my reading today, well, not all of it, but most of it, I'm going to turn my attention to the girl who kicked the hornet's nest. I'm really peeved because for the challenge day, somebody redeemed a like delete from the other team towards my team, and it randomly generated The Girl Who Played with Fire by Steve Larson, which was a 700-page book and also had like a lot of negative points. So that's frustrating. Now I really feel like I need to finish the trilogy so that I can get the bonus points of finishing the series, and it can almost feel made up for the fact that they took away that book from me. That's life. I also started The First to Die at the End by Adam Silvera, which is technically a prequel to They Both Die at the End. I'm like 10% of the way into that. I'm listening to it on audiobook. So far so good. That's the update. It is Wednesday night. I have finished several books today, but I was like, I sound messed up. I'm not gonna give book reviews like this. I'm just gonna rest today. I'm still gonna sound messed up for the rest of this video, but when I feel up to giving you reviews, I will. But some news first. 4th try and the dreaded test came back really positive. So glad I've been staying away from everybody. That means I will definitely not be traveling this weekend. I will instead be squashing those series. My twin sister put it, Squash That Martine, a sick reading vlog. Don't know what I'm gonna do because I kind of wanted to finish Peter and the Sword of Mercy tonight, but also since taking the test, all thoughts have left my brain except eternal screaming. But I think I have 3 books to fill you in on when I get the chance. Yeah, The Girl Who Kicked the Hornet's Nest, Whom Dog Hath Joined, and The First to Die at the End. So you'll be hearing about those eventually. But for now, I'm gonna go cough really hard off camera. Hello. It's Thursday afternoon. Excuse all of this. I have 4 books to catch you up on, so now's as good a time as any, frankly, because I'm going to end this vlog today, like tonight, and then do a Friday, Saturday, Sunday vlog for Squash That series. So, might as well catch you up. A fun statistic just before I catch you up is I've officially read 23 books for the Squash That series. Hooray! And I will read more this weekend because I was supposed to be on a trip this weekend. And I will not be on a trip this weekend. So I actually went to get retested at the health center just now because I got a positive with my at-home test and I needed documentation, and so they wanted to verify it. And the same lady gave me the test at the health center 2 days ago. She goes, "Didn't I just see you?" I was like, "Yeah, but my at-home test came back really positive." And she was like, So she gave me the test, and she doesn't even wait the whole 15 minutes. She like walks away from it. She starts filling out some information. She looks at it 5 minutes later just to see like if anything's wrong with it. And she goes, "Martine!" And I was like, "Yeah, I know." Because when I took my at-home test last night, it like immediately showed a positive. I was like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. It's just me and enough concentration to like read easy books, but not enough concentration to do grad school work. So I have extensions on work and I'm just like sneezing and reading, I guess. The first is The Girl Who Kicked the Hornet's Nest. This was plus 200 points for my team and then minus 150. The minus 150 were for most recently started series because after I had finished the Dark Angel trilogy, then the Millennium trilogy became my next most recently started. And I wanted to finish it off because strategy-wise, after I finished the Millennium trilogy, then Magic Treehouse will be my most recently started. So I've saved all my Magic Treehouse reading for this for my weekend vlog so that it got the points of being my most recently started series. Another installment from this round because I read The Girl Who Played with Fire and then finished a series of minus 100 points. A+. I gave this book 4 stars. Here's the thing. Most of it was solid 3-star material, and then the court scenes happened, and that was solid 5-star material. So I just leveled it out. I gave it 4 stars. Some of the best court scenes I've ever read, not necessarily from accuracy standpoint, I really can't speak to that because it doesn't take place in the US. Regardless, the drama of the court scenes was absolutely fantastic. The prosecutor got. The star witness of the prosecutor got so bad. It was incredible. It was insane. And I was feeling so sick at the time that I was reading it, and I could not stop reading it. That part was so good. The rest of it was like, eh. Like, for most of the time I was like, why is there even a 3rd book? I don't get the point of this. Do I think the 800 pages was worth the little bit that was the court scene? I honestly can't tell you. You have to make that decision for yourself. I love those court scenes so much. It was worth it for me. Then I finished Whom Dog Hath Joined by Neil S. Paki, which is another golden retriever mystery book. I gave this one 2.5 stars, just like the last one. Overall, they're like fine, cozy mysteries, but then suddenly like a random, not politically correct thing or like really offensive thing will be included, usually on somebody's t-shirt. And I'm like, you really didn't have to do this. You would have been fine. But just because you decided to include that one detail on someone's shirt, like you just made this offensive to a whole group of people. I have a bind up, which is why I'm reading the first 9 of them. After that, I won't. I'm just a completionist, so if I have a book, I like to read it. This was only plus 50 points for my team, but it was minus 100 points because it's been on my TBR for over a year. Read another installment this round, and then it's an own sequel. Then I read The First to Die at the End by Adam Silvera, which is technically a prequel, but it just came out, and They Both Die at the End came out years ago, and I already read that. I read this. I haven't yet lucky. I saw that it was added. I didn't even know this book was being written, to be honest with you. But I saw when it was added to my library, I snatched it up before anybody else could get the audiobook. The audiobook was only 10 hours for a 560-page book. What a win. And it proved to me that recently, the audiobooks I've been listening to, I haven't been paying good attention to them, and it's shown me that it's not just because I'm bad at listening to audiobooks. It's the books themselves, largely, because I paid attention the whole time with this book, and I was quite sick. I've been having trouble paying attention while being sick, and I paid attention the whole time to it. Because of that, and the emotions I felt at the end, sorry for the racket, I don't know what's happening out there. Because of that, I gave it 5 stars. I thought, looking back, that I had given They Both Die at the End 4 stars, but when I looked on Goodreads, I gave it 5 stars. I also read it several years ago. Because of that, it was worth plus 200 points for the length that it was. A sequel to a 5-star, so minus 25 points. Finish the series, minus 100, and then pub 2021 or 2022, minus 25 points. The twin stuff in this book hurt my heart so badly. So badly. Also, I literally did not remember anything about the characters and They Both Die at the End, and then these 2 characters showed up in the book, and I didn't recognize them at first because I didn't remember them, but stuff starts happening and I go, what are the names of the main characters and They Both Die at the End? So I looked it up, and yeah, they made cameos in this book, but they're children in this book. So they made cameos as children, like 7-year-olds or something. And then we get their story later with They Both Die at the End. So I thought that was pretty cool. Obviously a pretty solid Easter egg where it was noticeable enough that me, who totally forgot their names, still figured it out, but not overly heavy-handed. And then today I finished Peter and the Sword of Mercy, which earns us 200 points. Then it finishes the series, so it's minus 100 points. It's another installment from this round, so minus 25. It's been on my TBR for over a year, minus 50 points. I started this series in 4th grade, but now I'm finally done it. I think this was maybe my favorite of the 3 that I read for Squash That series, but I still gave it 3.5 because there were times near to the end where I was just really not into the action sequences. But overall, I think I liked this one best, especially because it was kind of a prequel to the story of Peter Pan, but also kind of in line with the events of Peter Pan, but not really, because originally this was supposed to be a trilogy. Then they added this book, and so we actually do follow Wendy, and Michael and John do make an appearance in this one. So that was all very interesting to see how they decided to handle that particular part of the canon. I really, really enjoyed that, and it was a quick read. I mean, I started it yesterday, so here we are. I was going to finish it last night, but then I got distracted, I think, staring at a wall. Very important things happening, obviously. This has been a long update. I'm so sorry. The great news is I get to enter my last 6 books today because our sneak attack is today, so I'm actually gonna go ahead and do that right after I finish talking to you, and I'll let you know later if anything exciting happens before I end off the vlog. I just counted it all up for those 6 books that I was entering, and I added 800 points to my team and took away 800 from theirs. The gap between the teams grows by 1,600 points. Yay, sneak attack. Yeah, so it's the next day. All I did last night was go through a ton of tissues. No more reading was done. I'm gonna end this vlog here. If you'd like to go ahead and give it a big thumbs up and comment down below what was one of the books you read when you were in like 4th grade, and subscribe for more reading, writing, and college lifestyle content. And until next time, bye humans, bye.